So the goal of tonight is to inform you about the part-time program and to basically tell you that it's like the best kept secret in town. So we're going to let the secret out. I love this opportunity and this option for students. First, I love it because we believe as a school in what you're doing. We believe actually in homeschooling. That sounds kind of silly, doesn't it? I mean, it's like, why do we have this big building if we believe in that? We have this just as an alternative to those that can't do what you're doing. But we believe it is a biblical mandate, imperative, that parents educate their children. And we see our role as people, a group of people that are here to support you in that. We are here to support parents that are full-time families in the education of their children. We're not here to replace the family. And I think that's a difference between a public school and even some private schools. We are a private Christian school, and that means that we support the family and believe in the family. And so our goal is not to tell you that we know better than you. That's the habit of some. Our goal is to tell you that we believe in you. More importantly, we believe in Christ in you, and we want to help you as you raise your children. And so this part-time option allows for you as families, and really the students, to receive the benefit of coming to a school like Western Christian with all of the opportunities that it affords, athletics and activities and opportunities that wouldn't typically be available to just you in your home. It allows you to have the benefit of all of that, but still maintain the integrity of what you have aimed at from the beginning, your children, in a way that honors the Lord, and to educate them with learning that really glorifies God. But we want you to know that we affirm you in that, and we value that. We don't want to end that. We don't want to impede that. In fact, we believe if every parent could teach their children in the world and could teach them biblically, it would be a much different world. It would be a much better world. So this is, again, not something to replace what you're doing. Hopefully it's something that really complements what you're doing.
Mr. Atwood said, we're blessed to be here with you, to have this opportunity to talk about something that we're passionate about and we share your passion in, and that's Christian education. For you, some of the things that Marilyn had asked you, why did you choose to homeschool your child? And so we took the top 5, and I want to address those things because we are 100% in agreement with you. We agree. So you believe that God is calling you to be the teacher of your child at home, or your children at home. And some of you with 4 children at home, and you are the teachers. We believe that too. We believe that's biblical. We, like Mr. Atwood said, think that if the whole world did what you're doing, we'd have an amazing place. And so we applaud you. You're my heroes. I wish that I had the boldness to do that when my children were growing up. I have a 35 and a 30-year-old child now, and I have grandchildren, so I'm trying to convince my daughters to be the primary teacher in the home for their children. So well done. You desire for your children to know God and His ways by teaching them primarily from the Bible. Again, we agree, and that's one thing that's beautiful about Western Christian. In fact, I'm not sure if you have seen our new mission statement and vision statement, but our new mission says that Western Christian schools exist to love the Lord Jesus Christ, teach the truth, and serve others. So just like you, we want the kids that come through our school first to love Christ and to know His Word. You don't like what's being taught in public schools. We don't either. In fact, I spoke with a few families today, and I asked them to run away from that. Do whatever it takes. If you homeschool, great. If you can put them here, great. But whatever it takes to save your child, because right now the public school system is directly opposed to what we believe, and they're preaching violently against it, and they're trying to convince our children. And I believe that that's a tool that the enemy will use to grab our kids' hearts first. You know, it's a dangerous place. So protect them from the public schools. We agree. Right now, it's not a safe time. You want to take the full responsibility of teaching your children, and we agree with that 100%. You are primarily responsible. All the families that attend here, we place them primarily responsible for the education. We are here to partner with them. You appreciate that Western Christian Private Satellite Program has Friday and Tuesday school, field trips, standardized testing, and clubs. And there's great offerings for you. And I believe that some of you are here tonight because maybe you're at that place where you see the value in augmenting some of that with what our high school provides. So we just want to start out the meeting tonight by saying we're in 100% agreement. We are brothers and sisters. We value what you are doing, and if anything, we wish more people were taking the stand that you're taking.
So the part-time student program. So the first one I want to talk about is a very fun one that students take advantage of, is the competitive Christian athletics program, right? So it's not just an athletics program. It legitimately is a Christian athletics program, but it is a legitimate athletics program. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. So we have all these sports that we offer. There are more sports than kids have the opportunity to take advantage of. Some of them are like, oh gosh, I have to choose now. But one of the greatest things about coming part-time, and I don't know if we made this clear, but a part-time student who comes for 2 periods a day, who is taking 20 units of credit from Western Christian High School, can participate in these sports. And the reason that it has to be like that is because the sports organization, CIF, who is the kind of manager of high school sports in the area, that's kind of their requirement, that a student must attend 20 units at a school in order to participate on their sports teams. So unfortunately, that's where we're at. We're trying to find some new ways to get that done that might not have to be being here, but for the time being, the part-time program is really the solution to that. And that's a lot of fun for our kids. I mean, talk about getting involved with the community, making friends and relationships that will last literally forever. That is one of the best ways I've seen students really engage with our school, because once you're on a team, you're part of the team, you know, and teams have a special life in of themselves. Another thing, reason why people do the part-time program is because this is a lot of fancy words, not really, a rigorous Christian academic program with professional Christian educators equipped with resources and facilities. Our teachers here are incredible. I know this because I was a student at one time, and the teachers here literally changed my life. I grew up in a great family, an amazing family. But to come to a school and have everything that your family is teaching you be affirmed by a community, by peers, by other people, it changes your life legitimately. You know, at some point, especially in high school, the influence that a parent has kind of diminishes a little bit, because there's like, well, there's other people in the world, and you know, what are they into? What do they like? What do they think? You know, I mean, I heard it all from my parents 50 times, but what does anyone else think about this? And when you're in a community that will support your family's values, your family's faith, that is life-changing. It is really an amazing thing. So not only are they passionate, dedicated Christians, but they're very smart, bright people. So they're very well equipped and trained to teach the subjects that they're teaching. And they love the subjects. And the best part about it is that each one, especially as a high school, each teacher, they embrace their subject as a form of worship to God. You know what I mean? And when you look at life through that lens, and when you teach kids to look at life through that lens, like, hey, this isn't just information. This is God's beauty. This is His plan. This is His works. So it's very wonderful. And I have a son here who's a freshman. It's like my first test drive. After 15 years, I get to actually really figure out what's happening around here. But and it has been incredible for me as a parent. And it has made me want to recommend the school even that much more, even if for just 2 periods a day. The next thing that we have is accredited AP honors and elective course offerings. So I have here a slide that has the list of the AP classes. So AP, if you're not familiar, stands for Advanced Placement Courses. And they are courses that are taught at, they're considered college-level courses. And across the nation, there's an AP test that students can take after they take these courses. And if they pass this test, that is a national test, they may earn at certain universities, most universities, credit for college. All right, so I passed the test. Okay, here's 3 units of credit, and here's 3 units of credit. I took Calculus AB as a student here. When I got to college, my senior year, I got into the hardest class that I was in, and the teacher, who happened to also be my advisor, looked at me, he's like, oh, hey, Brandon, you don't need to take this class. You passed the Calculus AP test, so see you later. And I walked away from all my friends who were like, oh, you. But these are really great, and the honors courses as well. And for our school, these courses are legitimized by an accredited body through the ACSI, which is the Association of Christian Schools International, and also WASC, which is the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. That's good. I haven't actually said those out in a while. And also, these courses have been submitted and approved with the UC college system as well. So there's a lot of bodies who are saying, yeah, your guys' academic work is up to our standard. But we go a step further and say, yeah, that's nice that they're up to your standard, but they're up to our standard. Because we have Christian teachers talking about Jesus Christ every single day in the midst and above and beyond what the standards are. And so sometimes this can be kind of difficult for families at home. You're like, I'd love to do that. We have some kids who are able to grab an AP book and do it. Some kids, they need that higher level instruction. And high school gets tough. You know, it's like, I've helped my kids throughout high school or school, right? And you start helping them with math, and then the next year you're helping them with math, and then the next year you're like, try this. Is there a video on YouTube you can watch? You know, so as the academic requirements increase, having a school available for you to take care of those things is a very good tool. But then you have the elective course offerings, right? The fun, the razzle, the dazzle. Most of our electives, though not exclusively, are in the visual and performing arts category. We have students who are amazing artists, and they can be here for 4 years and take art classes in art and ceramics. We even have a new course, fashion design and textiles, for those who like to make stuff that you can wear. Then we have all the performance courses, the bands, the choirs, and people who want to learn and study and pursue music. And they can, again, do that for 4 straight years. And then you have the technology guys, right? So we have web design, yearbook design, digital photography, filmmaking, and broadcast journalism. All of these courses, and these kids love them. When I was here teaching, I taught the computer classes, and a lot of the part-time students were always in my class, you know. And it was just because it was a fun, different experience from a teacher about things that are exciting and interesting for students to learn that they might not be able to do by themselves at home. So we got a lot of classes that kids can take here, all right? And they can take any of them. You come and say, this is what I'm interested in taking. When we work with students who are interested in coming part-time, it's that conversation. Well, what would you like to take here? And what would you like to do at home? And what would you like to maybe do with the PSP program? So the other thing is the complete Christian high school experience. I want to put emphasis, and I hope you're getting this thread here. Christian high school, that's who we are. We are a Christian high school. And that is what we love, that is why we live, and is what we're passionate about. There are so many things that students can participate in outside of the classroom. And as a part-time student, your kids are afforded all of these opportunities. So we have trips. If you take Spanish here, you can go to Spain. If you take French here, you can go to France. Our choir has been to San Francisco or to New York. We have 2 bookend retreats for our freshmen and our seniors, so freshman life and senior renewal. And part-time students get to go to those trips if they want. And they're like phenomenal retreats where you get to bond with your classmates, and you're doing it all in the name of Jesus. There's devotion times, there's speaker times, there's worship time that happens at our retreats. And that's all made available. Then we got the dances that we supervise and are in very control of. And honestly, these kids here, they're really good. They're really, really good kids. You know, you would think you'd have to go to a dance and be like, we're going to have to just be all over the place saying, nah, 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 nah. They have fun. They have fun together. Slow dancing's out nowadays. I guess they just like to, just dance around and have fun together. So we have the homecoming and the prom and the Sadies equipped with all the courts. And we've had part-time students be on those courts. And, you get to go to the games. And we also have like leadership opportunities for students to be available in. ASB, class council. And then another thing I want to talk about is clubs and club council. So we have clubs all over the place. And the beauty about clubs here is that any student can come and say, Mr. Doolittle, I would like to start a club. I had a young lady just yesterday come to me and say, Mr. Doolittle, I would like to start the Future Business Leaders of America Club. And so we work together, and she's going to be the president now. So anytime our students have particular interests, they move forward with these clubs. And so even if and again, look, you can come here for 2 classes, but if you're interested, you could be studying Mandarin, science, technology, engineering, math. That's when I get to do the STEM club. We build these trebuchets and launch pumpkins on our football field. That's one of my favorites of the year. But we also have discipleship groups, student-led discipleship groups on class. And they can participate in all of these and get to know people and be in a real healthy environment working with good kids who are pursuing good things. Then you have the missions trips. As a school, right now it's once a year during the Easter vacation. Believe it or not, kids will give up a week of vacation to go serve the world for Jesus Christ. And I'm in awe of them. They've got me beat. I think I need to rest for a week. But we've been to Uganda, Mexicali, the Dominican Republic, and this year, right, is Kenya, Africa. And they go out and they connect with other ministries or organizations, and they serve the people there, and they do it and minister in the name of Jesus to the communities that they go visit. So there's a lot to get involved with. I mean, I didn't even read everything that was on the slides. There's more slides that could exist that you haven't seen. But the point is that you get a robust experience in high school, even if you just come for 2 periods a day. And that's kind of the beauty. But one of the things is kind of the culmination of it all is college readiness and graduation. So as part of being at a high school, you could say we consider ourselves a college prep high school. So from day one, from the freshman year, we are working with students to have them plan and discover their journey towards college.
A lot goes into a college acceptance. There's things that many years ago we would say it's all academics. They want to see a GPA, they just want to see that SAT score. But it is more difficult now. The competition is very stiff for our kids to get into those universities that we hope for them. And so we wanted to show you some of the factors that go into a college admissions process. Our college guidance program, back in the back you'll see Miss Keisha Boyd. Keisha is the director of our college and career guidance department. Keisha, along with Mrs. Heimbach, work with the students one-on-one. And we have a program called Family Connection by Navians. The students can start with that and understand how they're uniquely gifted and designed by God. This does like a Strengths Finders test, so it shows them their top 3 strengths. Then they do a career test, something that kind of gets to the bottom of things, like what do you think you're designed to do, or what kind of things do you love to do, what are you passionate about? And then that takes that information and helps look at the 4-year plan. What colleges teach that? Where would you find that major? And so what do you need to do here to be ready for there? So they work with our kids one-on-one. Every Thursday, they meet with our seniors. We call it College App Thursdays. And they stay sometimes probably until the wee hours, helping students develop their applications, getting them what they need. We were laughing because today is the last day for Cal Grant stuff, I think, and midnight is the time. Well, it's inevitable that we will get a text at 11:50 saying, I forgot. But our kids can text us and we can get that information done for them. We don't love to do that at 11:50 at night, but they do have access to people here. During the whole time that they're here, we're working on this 4-year plan with them. They'll enter, we'll pace them out and develop that with them. Now, if they're here for 2 periods a day, they come in the 9th grade year, you know the curriculum that you feel strongest with or that will work in your home. Maybe you're here just for electives. And so, maybe some of the rigor and things, that's what you're transcribing, that's what you're responsible for, and we applaud you for that. But then we will help by lending the experts in the field to help with the application process for college. We have college prep seminars, we have college fairs on campus, where we have, I think this month, maybe a dozen or 20 colleges coming to set up and visit our students and allow them to have access to these professionals. Like I said, these are some of the schools that last year our students were admitted to. Many of them with very nice scholarships.
So, what I want you to know is I'm kind of a simple man. None of this stuff matters without Jesus. And I suppose that makes me and us a strange place because we're an educational institution that says none of this matters at all unless it's built on Jesus Christ. None of these schools matter. None of the accomplishments matter. None of the scholarships matter. The money doesn't matter unless it's all built around a life lived for Jesus Christ. And so as you're, it probably feels like you're drinking from a fire hose at the moment. You're hearing all of this information and there's all these opportunities, but also all this planning and all of maybe the anxiety that attends that. If this is the Lord's work in your life, and I believe it always has been, and I pray it always will be, then the Lord's going to work all this out. And the Lord will provide for all this. We want you to be at ease with that. We want you to know that you're supported and that we love you. I want to talk with you about the top reasons parents don't participate in the Western Christian part-time student program. First statement that we've heard the most often is we can't afford it. It's just plain and simple, right? Plain and simple money. I want you to know that this is a school that wants to be a school that meets you at your point of need. This is not a school for the quote-unquote elite. I don't even know what that means. This is a school for God's people and for God's families. And last time I checked, He didn't make finances a requirement of being a part of that club, right? It was just His Son and what you do with His Son that makes the determination as to whether or not you can be a part of that club. This school is an extension of that belief. Obviously, it takes money to run a school, so it's not free. But what I want you to know is that we want to make this a financially feasible alternative for you if you would like to have your students attend part-time. What I also want you to know, though, is you can often save more money by going full-time. That sounds strange, I know. But I have a lot more flexibility to give a lot more money away to families that are here full-time. Bottom line, though, is I would argue when families say we can't afford it, I would say often, particularly when they're up against a lot of the challenges of preparing a student for a university, can you afford not to? Can you afford to outsource the education of your children to a public school independent study program or a charter school program that does not honor what you have built your lives on, Jesus Christ? I know with my children and my family, and I think I can speak for my colleagues, their children, their families, there wouldn't be anything I wouldn't give. I can't think of a thing I wouldn't give. I'd give my life so that my children would know Jesus. And I would give my life to know that I could do something to protect them from anything that would separate them from Jesus. or attempt to separate them from Jesus. We're told in the scriptures that nothing can separate us from the love of God. But I also want to make sure that I do my part to keep them in that place. Bottom line is, if money is an issue or concern for you, we want to know and we want to help and we want to talk about that. If that's the only thing that would keep your student from attending here, that's not good enough to me. And I don't want it to be good enough to you. So please talk with us about that, because we have solutions. It's too far. I'm a Dodger fan, so I don't know how that's going to fly. I tell people everybody has a flaw. Maybe that's mine. If you're an Angels fan, if you're a Giants fan, you can leave. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I'm a Dodger fan, right? And I live in Alta Loma. I would gladly, especially if there was a way to afford it, gladly, almost any day of the week, any time of the year, go and watch Clayton Kershaw pitch, right? Because it's awesome. And if you're not a Dodger fan, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's awesome, right? Things that are worth doing are worth driving for, are worth giving up time for, right? And so I see students that have come from, all the way from Monrovia every day. I have a student coming, this is going to shock you. He's a senior this year, and he maintained this driving distance for the last 2 years from Palm Desert. You know where his mother works, who drives him here? Palm Desert. She drives all the way from Palm Desert to drop him off, Jared. He stays here during the day. She goes back to work. She drives all the way back out here to pick him up. And then they go back home. Now, maybe you might be questioning the sanity there. Actually, they're crazy for this school. You know why, though? They're crazy for Jesus. And Jared is crazy for Jesus. So when families say it's too far, I understand that concern at the beginning. But I also say, if it's good enough, you'll go anywhere. You'll do anything. And I believe this place is good enough to answer that question. We also have free busing. So I'll throw that out there. My child has learning needs, and I'm worried he or she won't be taken care of. I love that statement, because I always get to respond by saying, we've got tons of kids with learning needs here. There's no limit to what we won't do for students, as long as we can meet their need. What I would never want to do is overpromise and underdeliver. I want to make sure that students are met where they're at. And the beauty of that is I love my job. I've got teachers here and administrators here that don't worry about union hours, that don't worry about their contract when they've got a kid that needs them. And I can say to them, hey, we're going to extend time on tests and quizzes. Hey, we're going to actually think of an alternate assignment here. Hey, we're going to post our notes on my WCS so that they can access those at home. We're going to flip a classroom so that they can watch videos and then come in and learn with you there, because they learn better when they're at home and they can connect with the lecture that way. There's no limit to what we won't do. You know why? If every one of these students, and I'm looking at some of them now, are made in the image of Jesus Christ, they are made in the image of the eternal God, why wouldn't we do that? What wouldn't we do for these people that God adores? If you can think of the answer, I don't know if I want to hear it. I don't want to know you. Because I don't think there's any answer. There's no limit to what we wouldn't do for the ones that God loves. And they are those. So we have students that have learning needs in every grade, in every class. Pretty much every kind of learning need. We've seen it, met it, experienced it. And Miss Boyd can testify to this. We love them all, and we serve them all. Even when it hurts, especially when it hurts, when it's hard, when we don't know what to do. We will find a way, because they are the priority. We need time and flexibility as a family. We want to go to Washington, D.C. Hey, you know what? We've got a family reunion that we have every 5 years. We're going to have a huge trip down to Chile, Argentina, whatever it is. Good. And at this school, you will always have the opportunity to go and do those things. And you say, wait, hang on, Mr. Abbott, that takes it's going to be a 2-week trip. Yeah? Go. Good. I want you to have flexibility. We want families to be families. We will work with strategies and solutions to meet students at their point of need. We had a student named Tim Bohr. Tim was and is a, what's the word? Figure skater, thank you. I saw it in my head. Not a hockey player, figure skater. Gifted. Tremendous ability. Tim was doing competitions throughout the year. And when they first came to us, they were kind of going, we love this school, we love this idea, but will you guys let us leave to go and do these things that Tim was made to do? I kind of looked at him like, man, you guys must have been around some rough people, because we want to celebrate what Tim's doing. Not only can you leave, I want to showcase Tim. I want everybody to know that Tim is amazing at this. Flexibility and the time to do the things that you need to do as a family, we will honor. We will honor. And we will work with you there. Number 5, there's a great charter school that meets our needs. If your needs are first a Christian school and athletics and academic excellence, but I want to go back to a Christian school, and that meets all those needs and it's a charter school, go there. That sounds silly. I don't mean that in a rude way, but I mean great. We don't stand in opposition to Christian education. In fact, if you find a better Christian school that meets your needs, then go there. We support that. We believe in that. And I'm not intimidated by that. I'm proud of that. They're part of the family. They're part of the team. And if you find something better, good. But I want to challenge you to find something better. Because I don't know that there's one place that exists that's better than this. Not because we're good. Not because, certainly you've already noticed, I'm not good. You know why? Because Jesus Christ is good. And this is a school that loves Him. It is in our mission statement. And it's foolishness to the world. If I presented that mission statement at a school board meeting in the city of Upland or in another city, they'd laugh at it. You know why? Here's our mission statement. Mrs. Nelson mentioned it. We exist, and we have existed for nearly 100 years. We exist as a school to love Jesus Christ. To love Jesus Christ. To teach the truth. And to serve others. Jesus is what it's about. And He is the bedrock, the cornerstone of everything we do here. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So if you can go to a school that places that priority on Jesus, and it offers you all the things that we can offer you, actually I want to know about it, because I want to learn from them. And I want to connect with them, and I want to celebrate that and support that. So, hopefully I answered those, if you're hanging on to any of those. The bottom line, folks, is that we love you. We love your family. We love what God is doing in your families. And we want to support that. And we want to celebrate that. We also want to celebrate your kids. We want to invest in their life. Mr. Doolittle said it well. I was a teacher here. And I remember there was rumor of part-time students, right? Rumor of part-time students. I didn't know who they were. And frankly, I didn't care who they were in terms of that designation, because to me, they were all mine. And still, to us, they are all ours.